Welcome to the new studio, ladies and gentlemen.
New studio alert. New studio alert.
It's probably only going to look like a painted wall, but trust me, we're in different locations. We're celebrating other parts of Florida.
Absolutely.
We're,
Secret location number 2.
After 40 episodes of hard-hitting journalism,
Ooh, that's a bit overstatement.
Podcast professionals.
Also overstatement, but it's okay.
Nah, bro.
Professional?
We're professional.
We've done it.
We're consistent, bro.
We're definitely consistent.
We're consistent. You got to put that energy out so people understand that you ain't fucking around. Oh. I learned that from my Lord and Savior, Kanye West.
Oh, he's your Lord and Savior now after the album drop?
He's always kind of low-key been someone I look up to, admire. I would say, yes, he's a music god.
I like one song off of his new album.
Nah, the new album is trash, but I respect him for taking it to that level. I once heard Jay-Z say, Kanye is like the scout in the Indian and cowboy, like in the Indian and cowboy movie, the guy that goes and so all
does the reconnaissance,
right? And people fire the shots at him, and then everybody else knows, okay, hey, that's not where we need to go, or that's where we need to go. You know, there's always got to be a first of everything, right?
Right.
So
but didn't Chance make a gospel album this year?
He did, but Kanye is really good at taking people's style and making it himself.
Yeah, he's like the sample guy.
Yeah. And I think he did like Travis Scott during like the whole New Slaves thing. He took Travis Scott's swag.
Of course, yeah.
And then, yeah, he definitely took Chance's swag. But I think he made it better. I like it coming from Kanye more than Chance.
Why?
I don't know. Chance is cool, but I put Chance in the same category of hip-hop that I put Russ in. Successful, you guys can sell shit out, but it's still a little corny to me. I will say that I enjoy Chance's cadence when he first dropped, you know what I mean? He was doing acid and he had the crazy flows and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is something cool.
Something different.
My little brother, I think growing up, that was his favorite rapper.
Chance the Rapper?
Yeah. And so I respect him a little bit more than Russ, but now I kind of, in my mind, he's put himself in a position where you're like, since Kanye took over the gospel thing, you've turned into Pepsi, Chance.
Is this competitive?
Kanye is Coke. You know what I mean?
So you're saying Coke's better?
No, it's not better, right? But it to me, it has more. To me, it kind of tastes the same, but it has more popular appeal. Same thing you could say for the Hells Angels and the Outlaw Biker Gang.
Do you think Hells Angels are more popular appeal than Outlaws?
I think when you think of biker gangs, you're automatically going to go to Hells Angels first.
As like a lay person?
It's just, they're the poster child of bikers. The 1%.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
What's the name of that?
The Sons of Anarchy, right?
Yeah, but
I don't know the motorcycle club.
Were they an angel?
I don't know. I don't remember that. I didn't get that deep into that show.
You got the season 2 or something.
Yeah, but these guys, these motorcycle clubs have been around since like the 30s, especially after World War II, where there was a lot of like GIs that were came out of the military. There were motorcycle drivers in the military, so they took that culture to basically facet their own motorcycle with like leftover parts. This is after World War II.
So they're putting their own bikes together.
Yeah, and that's where like biker outlaw culture kind of was born. And through that, you had Hell's Angel. I'm sure you had other clubs, but the ones that like rose from the top were the Hell's Angel and the Outlaws, the Coke and Pepsi. And another reason why is because a week ago we had Bike Week in Daytona. So this is another reason why I'm bringing this up. And definitely,
I feel like Bike Week is like all year or something. I always
feels like that.
There's always like a Bike Week because there's Biketoberfest and then Bike Week. That's two different things, right?
And you have different locations. You have a Bike Week in Sturgis, North or South Dakota.
Okay.
That's the Hells Angels Bike Week. You have Daytona Bike Week, which is the Outlaws Bike Week. You have another Bike Week in California. So there's bike weeks all over the place.
Right, but I mean like in Florida, there's like a couple, seems like 3 a year.
Yeah. But this October is the main one. There's
Bike Week, right? And then there's Biketoberfest.
Right.
And then there's something else, right?
Right.
There's like a third.
I don't remember the third one. You're absolutely right. There's a lot of bike events.
Makes a lot of money, though, right?
For Daytona, absolutely.
For people around,
People,
hotels.
yeah.
It's a big economy.
Well, back in the day, kind of like the way Spring Break was wild back in the day. Remember BCR?
Yeah.
So BCR was in Daytona, and then, Daytona's really racist, so they got rid of the black people, as always.
Mm-hmm.
But they kept all the crazy white events. What's the real difference between BCR and Bike Week? Nothing. Just white and black people.
Yeah, the music, maybe.
But why would you discriminate against that? Like, I don't know
I can't think of a good reason because the same stuff's happening.
Well, the reason I bring
same bad stuff, I guess. Oh, obviously the same good stuff is happening.
I don't think so because you can't remember. This Bike Week was formed by the Outlaw Motorcycle Group. Okay, there are technically a club, but let's be real, they're kind of like a gang. Mm-hmm. There's no gangs that come to mind that came out of BCR.
Well, they came out of it, right?
So people come now with their wives, and you see women on motorcycles, and it's a family event, and everybody comes to see like the art and the culture. Right. That's what they promote.
That's not what I have in my head, but I've never been to Bike Week. In my head, Bike Week, and I guess I haven't been, so this is about to come from a place of ignorance, but like beer and like
debauchery.
Yeah, like topless girls with American flag bikini tops and like backwards camouflage baseball caps and like
country rap tunes.
A lot of this country rap tunes, a lot of this happening, when they have like
a lot of flat asses.
Maybe. Might be a couple in there, But that's what I see when I like Google for pictures of Bike Week. But you're saying it's more of a family event.
Well, now it is. Back in the day, it was that. Mm-hmm. It was let's get together and basically terrorize Daytona Beach. And the thing is, it's still around. And that's why I say there's a little bit of prejudice. There's more than a little. There's a lot of prejudice there because even though arguably the BCR was a black event, right? I would come to BCR. My white friends would come to BCR. Like it was a turn-up event because it was hip-hop related, right? Mm-hmm. But there wasn't no gangs being formed. And the stretch of time for BCR was only, I think, from like 96 to like 2002 or 2003 when Bike Week started around the same time in the 90s. But then I don't know what, did the bikers like evolve past all the gang shit? I don't know. But the thing is that it changed. Those things still go on, the drinking and the debauchery, but the way it's promoted is like a, come see the cool bikes, mm-hmm. come see the artisan in the bike builders. Right. Come network, come buy parts, obviously come vacate, drink, do all that. But this is an event for the culture of motorcycles. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When back then it was just a gathering of crazy fucks on motorcycles mm-hmm. to go crazy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, did something happen?
Yeah, like 83 murders.
From the Bike Week. 83 murders or deaths?
Murders, and I think there's way more than deaths. If you add just like bike accidents, yeah, way more. But because of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club and their culture, 83 motherfuckers died in Florida.
Wow,
because of it. This is a.
But how much money was made, right? That's what's important.
At the time, it was made, but the people that were supposed to benefit, like the bar owners and maybe city tax, mm-hmm. they weren't getting that because the bikers would come in.
Keep it.
Well, they would intimidate the bar owners and say, "Hey, we want a cut of all this stuff." Right. So there's a lot of extortion going around.
The Outlaws, you said?
The Outlaws, and the leader of the Outlaws is this guy named Harry Taco Bowman.
Well, his name was Harry Bowman, right?
But they call him Taco.
Why'd they call him Taco?
Because he looked like a beaner.
A beaner? Like he looked like a Mexican
which
person?
Is a slur for Mexican people. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say beaner is because that's how they described him. His own gang described him as like a Mexican.
Was he actually Mexican?
No, he was white. Because you're not allowed to be part of a biker gang unless you're Aryan. White Nazi. They don't really accept. I'm sure there's other clubs that are inclusive.
Wait, you got to be like hateful? Or you have to be white?
You have to be white, but followed by that white, you got to have a little hate in
A little hate in there?
You got to have the hate. It's like that extra sazon.
I guess it's kind of implied sometimes.
They have a swastika on their fucking patch, so eventually they got that taken off because it's like you're gonna see.
It was a problem for their family dynamic.
Well, they're trying to argue that no, we're a bike club, not a gang, and the argument is, well, why do you have a swastika? So they're like, oh yeah, that's right. So they took the swastika off their patch so that because
Bet they hated that shit.
Remember how we talked about some of the gangsters in some of the episodes? Remember we talked about the RICO statute, which is the organized racketeering. Yeah. It was a law that was invented by the government to go after the mob.
Right.
Well, they try to use this law against biker clubs and first against the Hells Angels, and the Hells Angels won against the federal government because they couldn't prove that they were organized. They said, yeah, we're nationally known, but each club from each state or each city is independently their own thing. So they actually beat the government. The Outlaws were a little dirtier. Again, the Coke and Pepsi dichotomy, right? The Outlaws felt like they were number 2 to the Hells Angels, so they felt like they had to turn up more. And the person that made them turn up is their Hitler, Taco.
Taco is the Outlaws' Hitler?
For sure. He galvanized them.
A lot of layers to that inappropriateness as far as calling him Taco.
He has a spot. You don't think this is all stuff that I'm not saying. This is stuff that was directly from the club.
No, this is rarely ever do we really step outside of what's happening factually and make a lot of judgmental assumptions without at least saying, hey, I'm about to make a judgmental assumption.
Well, so, me more than you.
I guess so, yeah. True. But at least I'm here to kind of keep it under control a little bit.
That's why we need you in our life, bro.
But
until you have way more drinks than you can handle, then you turn into Jekyll and Hyde.
It kind of gets a little. Yeah, that last one, that Jameson one, boy. Woo! I was coming off a hangover and I was drinking Jameson. Shit. But now I'm fresh off of a fast and I'm drinking. I had some tequila at lunch and now I'm drinking.
Fast life.
So Harry Taco Bowman was a leader of the Outlaws, and he was an
Kimberly
Aryan
to give you the facts
and looked Mexican. Go.
The Outlaws Motorcycle Club, incorporated as the American Outlaws Association or its acronym, AOA, is an outlaw motorcycle club that was formed in McCook, Illinois in 1935. Membership in the Outlaws is limited to men who own American-made motorcycles of a particular size. Their main rivals are the Hells Angels, giving rise to a phrase used by Outlaws members, adios, the Spanish word for goodbye, but in this case doubling as an acronym for Angels Die in Outlaw States. The FBI's 10 Most Wanted fugitive number 453, Taco Bowman, known world leader of the AOA, in prison since 1999 for 3 murders, was the international president of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club.
Put in work.
During the time that Bowman was a fugitive in 1998, it had chapters in more than 30 cities in the United States and some 20 chapters in at least 4 other countries. In 2001 he was tried in Jacksonville, Florida. 8 federal agents along with the Daytona Beach SWAT team raided the Outlaws clubhouse on Beach Street in Daytona Beach, Florida 9 looking for drugs, weapons, contraband, paraphernalia, etc. They tore the Daytona Beach clubhouse apart for the better part of the day and found nothing citation needed, but removed as many of the club's pictures and any other possibly identifying information as they could find. Federal agents also raided a home in Ormond Beach and 2 other clubhouses around the state. The search of the Jacksonville clubhouses netted federal agents 60 weapons including pocket and kitchen knives. U.S. Attorney General Alberto Gonzales announced a Detroit grand jury indictment of 16 of the Outlaws National Club's members. 10 The Detroit grand jury indictment included various charges, including assault and drug distribution. 11 Outlaws leaders and high-ranking members of the gang were arrested after a 5-year investigation. The FBI said several gang members were charged with conspiracy to commit assault on members of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club in Indiana. Paul Anderson, 44, president of the Cross Bayou chapter in Pasco County, FL. Paul Anderson was shot while idling in a truck at a red light, deputies said, by 2 motorcyclists from a rival gang, the 690 RS Motorcycle Club. Deputies said these 690 RS members were arrested on Friday, December 22, 2017 for taking part in the shooting. 7. Michael Mencher, 51 Christopher Cosimano, 29 Alan Guinto, 26. Alan Big B Guinto, was tracking Anderson in a scout vehicle. 2 others, Christopher Brian Diddy Cosimano, and Michael Dominic Pumpkin Mencher. Cosimano is the president of a local branch of the 690 RS, according to investigators. He walked up to the window of the truck and knocked, getting Anderson's attention before killing him dead at the intersection of State Road 54 and the Suncoast Parkway.
The more hardcore members, guys that have been in 20, 25 years, and typically those are the guys that won't cooperate with law enforcement. Modern day, it's the me generation. Everybody's out for themselves. A lot of these guys don't have any, bitch, are you dumb, let alone 5 years.
They all 6'9" themselves.
They got reduced sentences for their cooperation, which I don't believe was right because they murdered a fellow outlaw and kind of got off scot-free on it. Jimmy the Pimp, they didn't like him.
Jimmy the Pimp!
Yo!
Jimmy the Pimp!
What's his name? Mike. Mike's like, you guys can't be rats. I'm the only rat here. That's like not fair, guys.
That's my thing, guys.
So
Jimmy the Pimp's like, I'm a rat too.
So basically, that's the story.
Where?
Taco went on the run for like 2 years. He ended up being caught in Detroit.
So he's in jail now?
He's in jail now.
Here or in Detroit?
In Florida. Because
Florida.
that's where they committed the most murders.
So who's in charge now?
They have they've evolved kind of like the mob where they're not really killing off. There's supposedly a truce. We're going to find that in other episodes when we talk about warlocks. There's a national truce with all these biker gangs where they're like not going to kill each other. They're just going to respect each other's territories. A lot of the old timers think that, hey, we've had truces before. Shit's going to go down eventually. But right now in the current state, they're kind of like the mafia where they exist. The cops kind of know they're there, but they're under the radar to the point where they're like, all right, we won't fuck with you guys. Just sell a little bit of meth on the side.
Hey, just a little bit.
It's a little bit.
So that's what's happening now. Probably like, has there been, I don't know.
Why can't they just ride fucking bikes and enjoy the bikes? Like, why do we have to bring all this extra shit?
Well, because they like getting fucked up too.
That's part of the crime?
Mm-hmm. Well, when people make a large part of their life just getting fucked up,
it's ego, bro.
It just turns into like a next thing. And anybody who's so hateful in their heart to not include people in other colors in their organization is probably going to have issues, especially when they get blacked out drunk. They're going to decide to punch people in the face. And then what if those guys don't have actually life skills?
Yeah, but blowing up, it takes, you can't make a bomb all drunk. The process of making the bomb, driving it on your fucking motorcycle 100 miles.
Somebody got lucky.
You cannot be drunk during those things.
Somebody got real lucky.
Maybe methed out.
Yeah, it just woke. Yeah, up 72 hours. It's like, yo, I just made a bomb. What am I do with it?
I'm gonna drive it
what
down
do with the bomb?
County.
Let's drive around with it. Okay. Then we'll decide on the road. Then we get on the road and they're like, hey, let's blow up this Hell's Angels?
Warlocks, yeah.
Let's blow up this Warlocks thing. Hey, aren't we in a truce? What's truce mean? Blow it up. We went in, blew it up. Yeah, man, and that's so not established in Florida, but the Florida chapter is one of the like more legendary.
Right. Well,
Florida chapter, but like
their Florida club is what
the club.
Really,
yeah,
because they like what they did to the Warlocks. Like Florida's ours. We're the top dog in Florida,
right?
Because of Daytona Bike Week, they were trying to. It was really like a rivalry thing with the Hells Angels, and they just wanted to make their own known, you know what I mean? Like, we are the real 1%ers. It's a stupid pride thing.
It is a pride thing, it seems like.
You guys seem to love all these criminal stories because we seem to get the most views on these stories. Yeah. But, there's always the same underlining theme.
Views in, like, the longer, they watch it longer.
Yeah.
And there's still the same underlying theme.
You think people are just infatuated with crime like that? Like, a lot of people are... Like us, we'd like to watch it from a distance, but maybe want to be part of it.
It's that train wreck, car accident kind of aspect of it, where it's like, damn, these motherfuckers fucked their lives up for $100,000 or $1 million or whatever.
Is it the spirit of real freedom?
Yeah, I think part of it's that too, where you can
like
just sort of like
do what the fuck
do what you want, how you want, and then you don't gotta speak or you don't gotta answer to anybody.
Yeah, that's American.
It's very idealistically American. It's very un-American, though. You know what I mean? American right now is getting up and going to work for a corporation that doesn't really profit you.
Boring.
It's generally what people do. The large majority of people, not everybody's an entrepreneur working for themselves. Yeah. Rarely, if we're looking at statistics, rarely are people entrepreneurs. They're either they got a 9-to-5 that they suck or that they think sucks, or they can just sort of got used to and it's fine. I like going to work every day and working with the people I work with and pushing paperwork.
Yeah.
I work in the Social Security office where I'm just like, whatever. Or I just work in the...
So Dame Dash is really the real American.
Right. I mean, idealistically, the real American.
Because he wants to build his own name, his own thing.
The ideology
Fuck
is there.
corporation.
But, not many people are able to do that.
Yeah.
Not successfully anyway. A lot of people try it, but nobody actually can like fully live like that. A true, free American.
Yeah. Well, I guess the moral of the story is motorcycles are better for just cruising, riding, and white people love that shit.
How about don't put a sociopath in charge of your business.
Of a motorcycle?
Of your business, whatever it is.
Of your club?
Make a sane person in charge that makes sane decisions.
So if they would have been open-minded and they allow all colors, you think there would have still been like what gang is there?
I don't think the fact that they were racist had anything to do with why they were good or bad.
Well, do you think that like being a white person and being in the Bloods and Crips is kind of, like, I know there are white Bloods and white Crips, but they're really never, I think they're really accepted. Like, look at the Tekashi shit. You've seen Tekashi wear the blood rag, and you're like,
they said
this guy's Mexican.
They said, I don't think I said it, but they said it in this little doc here on how violence and shit like that got you respect. So if this white person is beating the shit out of people and scaring people like Tommy from Power, then maybe he might be in charge of shit.
Man, criminal shit is so segregated. I guess it's the way where you come up. It's the poor mentality, man.
It's the one place in the world that doesn't need to be politically correct at all.
That's crazy.
To succeed. You
That's
can't
true.
sue them unless they're trying to technically, and we haven't established if that's true or not, but like, you're not going to sue them. I mean, what are you going to do? Go complain to like the fucking the city?
They didn't let me be a member. I wanted to get jumped in and everything.
This guy called me a beaner. It's like, okay, have a good day.
Well, that's the Outlaw episode. It's our first episode in the new studio. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Join us on all social media platforms. Thompson's been killing it on Instagram and Reddit and Twitter, so follow us.
I've been causing problems, and I mean every word I say.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Join in on the motherfucking conversation. Join our gang. We're not going to make you kill people, okay?
Maybe. You never know.
Hey, you might
we don't know
catch
yet.
A body to be part
we don't
of
know yet.
Fresh Produce
We're not famous
Syndicate.
Yet. We're not famous yet. Who knows? One day when people are feeding me grapes, I might need somebody to smack the hell out of somebody just for the fuck of it. Go smack that waiter. I don't like how he fed me the grape. Yeah, right he fed me the grape.
Send us all your hate to freshproducefloridamedia@gmail.com. And my name is Phraydoe Peans.
My name is Chris Thompson.
And we love you. Be safe. Gang signs.